For 4a and 4b, we are given a derivative equation and asked to find relative extrema for the parent function. Hopefully by now we realize that in order for the parent function to have a relative min or a max, the derivative has to either be 0 or undefined. So looking at this first derivative, that's never going to be undefined. It's a polynomial function. They are defined at all x values all the time. But we can see this is going to equal 0 if x is either 1 or 2 or 3. So I'm going to mark a number line with 1 and 2 and 3 on it. And I'm going to test numbers off the 4 sections of number line that result by plugging them back into y prime to see if y prime is positive or negative on each section. So I'm going to plug in, I'll use 0 for this first interval. Plugging in 0 gives me a negative factor times a negative factor times a negative, oh no, squaring it would make it a positive factor at the end. So this is a negative times a negative times a positive. That would give me overall a positive result for that section. If I plug in 1.5 off of, say, this second section, 1.5 in the first quantity would give me a positive result. 1.5 in the second quantity would give me a negative result, a negative half. And basically anything you plug into this third quantity is going to give you a positive result because it's getting squared. So I'm going to go ahead and call that positive. A positive times a positive would give me a negative overall result. Plugging in 2.5 gives me a positive quantity times a positive quantity times a positive quantity, which is a positive result. And plugging in 3.5 would really be the same song. A positive times a positive times a positive would give me a positive. So, y prime changes from positive to negative when x is 1, meaning y changes from increasing to decreasing. When x is 2, y will change from decreasing to increasing. So y has a relative max at x equals 1. They want us to justify the answers. It's a pretty easy justification once you've made the chart. That's because y prime changes from positive to negative values at x equals 1. So x equals 1 gives a relative max. We could also say y has a relative min at x equals 2. And I'm running out of room here with my sloppy pen handwriting, but the justification would be because y prime changes from negative to positive values.